Hello children. Today let us start discussing about the lesson political science. Under the political science, the first unit name is the problems of India and their solutions. In this unit, we come across 6 important points. The first one is unemployment. Second one, corruption. Third one, discrimination. In that, gender discrimination, caste discrimination, regional inequalities. Fourthly, communalism. Fifthly, terrorism. Sixthly, corporate strategies. India has faced numerous external and internal problems since 1947. For all these problems, how we can manage these through our efficient administration. And we also require the support of citizens in our democratic governments, both at the central, state and local levels. Now, let us discuss what are the important problems faced by our country. Most of them are human-made and national emergencies. Here, there is a need to find certain important, reasonable and humane solutions. The solution is to be found through good administration. Secondly, social reformation. Thirdly, fast and efficient judiciary. This solution needs to be backed by people's support. Now, let us discuss about such problems. The first and foremost problem is unemployment. Let us discuss what is the meaning of unemployment. Unemployment is a situation where a person does not find work in accordance to his capacity or qualification. In India, we have huge population. In that, unemployment is a big problem. Usually, the population and improved technology are considered as important reasons for unemployment. There are two important reasons for unemployment. One is population. Secondly, improved technology. Apart from these two, shortage of natural resources, over-dependency of agriculture, ruined cottage industries and lack of skill-based education also responsible to find unemployment. Like this, unemployment has become a huge problem. According to census of 2011, the poverty rate is 21.9%. This indicates the growing problem of unemployment in India. Then, how we can solve this problem? That is only with the support of central government and with the support of state government. These two governments have taken various measures to generate employment for people. Now, let us discuss how to solve these problems. Some of the steps have been taken to improve the skill level of job seekers so that they can have a better access to employment. And we can provide loans by subsidy to enable people to engage in self-employment. In reality, handicrafts and products created out of self-employment are unable to compete with goods created by globalized economy. With this important indicated the issue of unemployment. Hence, what is the solution to inculcate the world-class skill of people is, firstly, we have to compete with the globalized production. And apart from this, every citizen of the country should be encouraged to indulge in one or the other employment by providing job-oriented courses to all is another strategy to think on. So like this, we can solve the problems of unemployment, population and improved technology. Both are the main important reasons for unemployment. Now, our government support is required. Skill level has to be improved. Handicrafts and products has to be created for to improve the self-employment. Globalized production has to be improved. Job-oriented course and other employment scheme has to be undertaken. Let us discuss about the second important point is corruption. Corruption is one of the important social evil in the public life of India. Now the corruption has spread to all strata of the society. Let us discuss what is the meaning of corruption. Corruption means offering bribe and following any other illegal means to achieve some illegal benefits. Corruption means offering bribe and following any other illegal means to achieve some illegal benefits. Corruption stays away from legal framework in its operation, and corruption can also be defined as misuse of public authority for personal gains. Sweeping away all the procedures for a narrow personal gain can also be termed as corruption. It has become contagious disease in personal life. Like this, corruption influences negatively on both personal as well as public spheres of life. It also influences economic condition, social condition and political life of a country negatively. And it also means an immoral thing from political angle. Corruption of personal ethics and morality happens in personal sphere. In public sphere, bribery, nepotism mean using your power in political, social and other activities. Caste favoritism, intentional slowdown of the work appear as major forms of corruption. During election time, all these evil practices simply find inroads into social life. Political corruption also leads to crime, and it also provides motivation of corruption in public life and nourishes misadministration on the part of officials. Things like tax evasion, illegal hoarding, smuggling, economic offences, cheating, violation of international exchange and employment cheating all find space in corruption. It is impossible to root out corruption by either rejecting it at personal level or just going along with it. It can be rooted out only through strong public ethics and personal morality and commitment. Many a times, natural and human tendency for selfishness, eagerness to fend off personal emergencies and personal gain lead a person to engage in corruption. Lack of strict supervision and weak legal enforcement leads to corruption. For this purpose, political will and public support is inevitable for tackling corruption. In other words, ethical political leadership, good officers, and politically aware and educated public can weed out corruption. Some of the important institutions like Lokpal and Lokayukta can bring down corruption drastically. Education institutions can take lead in this direction. By installing CCTV cameras in government offices, and increasing efficiency of government work can also bring down the intensity of corruption. Some of the important measures are undertaken to end corruptions, like awarding harsh punishment for corrupt officials, can also bring some change. Secondly, increasing the number of courts and judges can also rein in corruption. In nutshell, coordinated efforts are also needed to address this burning social problem. Like this, both political and public support is important. Secondly, Lokpal and Lokayukta can bring down corruption, and CCTV cameras are established in government offices, and harsh punishment has to be given to the officials those who are involved in corruption, and number of courts and judges are undertaken in their efforts to end the corruption. And whole public support is also important, and we have to coordinate with for all our efforts to end this social problem. Like this, we can solve the problem of corruption. The third important problem we are facing in our society is discrimination. Now, discrimination is based on gender, caste, and region. In India, Indian society is made up of patriarchal society, means society or government which is controlled by men and their values. It discriminates the role of women and men according to patriarchal values. Hence, inequalities are there between men and women in our society. Government of India has undertaken certain various measures to end this problem. Firstly, providing reservation in education, employment, along with providing reservations in elections of local bodies to overcome this gender discrimination. Thirdly, it has reserved 1/3 of the seats in local elections. In Karnataka, 50 reservation has been given to women in local body elections. Just like gender discrimination, we have also taken certain measures. Efforts are to be undertaken to end the discrimination prevalent between genders. Just like gender discrimination, caste-based discrimination is also a challenge to India. Caste system is a gift to Indian political system from the ancient social system based on Varna. Many measures have been undertaken in the constitution itself to prevent caste-based discrimination. Now, let us discuss what are the important measures undertaken. The right for equality and freedom have been included in the section 3 of the Indian Constitution. But the caste system has continued to live even after all these efforts. This cannot be solved only with the legal intervention. In order to eradicate this system, the society also needs to prepare itself to accept the change. Secondly, regional inequality is like gender and caste inequality and has posed a big challenge to India. Some regions of Karnataka have achieved a lot of progress while some parts have remained backward. In order to remove such inequalities, we have taken certain steps. First one, the Article 371 has been amended from A to J. Through these amendments, backward regions have been given special status. In spite of all these measures, the regional inequality problems has grown to such an extent and we are demanding for independent state status. In the light of these developments, there is an urgent need to eradicate regional imbalances of the country as early as possible. Next step is, in Karnataka, we have taken certain steps to solve this problem, regional imbalances. A committee has been organized headed by D.M. Nanjundappa and he has given special report on various measures needed to solve the regional imbalances in 2001. Some of the most backward regions of Karnataka have been accorded special status by adding Article 371J. Like this, we can end the problem of discrimination and we can work to enroll our role in order to solve the problems of discrimination. Our public support and government support, and we can end this type of discrimination in the society. Next important class video, we will discuss about the next 3 important problems of our country. Thank you, children.